here I am with no video. Let's talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the note that I wrote down for 2023 is that coaching really does make a difference. They finished 9-8, 18th in points scored, 17th in passing yards, 32nd in rushing yards. So I mentioned that it was coaching. This is one team that going into last year, people said was awful for fantasy. You can't use anyone on this team. The Bucs without Tom Brady are going to be terrible. They were terrible the year, or they weren't so good with Tom Brady in his last year, and we expect that to continue. But I guess people just didn't track that they changed their coordinator and they got way better. So the now head coach of Carolina Panthers, Dave Canales, was the offensive coordinator here last year. He has moved on, so there's going to be some changes. It's Liam Cohen coming in as OC. He was the offensive coordinator for Kentucky in college last year, and in 2022 was the coordinator of the offense for the Rams.
Cool. Let's talk about that offensive line.
Last year, they were fine. Not amazing, not even really good, kind of just forgettable. This team needed a center after Ryan Jensen, 1 or 2 years removed from the NFL, retired going into last year. So they sucked at center last year. They drafted in the first round Graham Barton to come in and make that better.
Dig it.
So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Jumping into QB, Baker Mayfield ended up 10th last year in fantasy points, ranked right now at 22. How you feeling about Baker?
There's just so many usable quarterbacks this year. 22, I could see him being in that similar stat line as what got him 10th last year. Great option for a 2-quarterback league. People are just kind of sleeping on him because of that slow start to his career. But with better coaching, he's shown that he's a usable fantasy quarterback.
Yeah, he's got a good wide receiving core, or wide receiver core. They're not trying to get him to do everything for the team. Did really well last year.
Yeah, did all right. Won the division. Won a playoff game.
Yeah, I believe so.
Unsure. Played in the playoffs. Am sure.
That running back position, Rashad White, 7th last year in fantasy points. Expert consensus sitting at 12 right now.
Is he good? Well, I guess he's good. He caught 64 passes on 70 targets. That's something that I think came from Dave Canales. He's said that he wants in Carolina to have a running back who can catch a lot of passes. Rashad White didn't do a ton of that, didn't really do anything going into last year. I think he just got used in a better role that fit his skill set. I'm not positive this new offensive coordinator is going to use him in that same way. And as a runner, he wasn't very good. He just caught a lot of passes and then got his yards from there. 12th, I don't know if it's going to be me picking him a lot of times at 12. I'm scared because I don't see a great rushing talent here. There's not really other options, but I'm not signing up right away to buy this repeat performance.
Yeah, could be good. Not really sure. Let's talk about that wide receiver core. Let's start with Mike Evans, 5th last year in fantasy points. Currently ranked
13. He's getting older. He's one of the guys that people wanted to jump off the train going into last year. That was not a great choice. This year he's 30, but I think he's still old enough to push off of defenders and not get caught. 13 seems a little high. That might be one of the higher rankings for him in his career, but he's good. He's going to catch touchdowns. He's going to get long passes. Just not a ton of 13. I don't see a ton of room to really get a good value pick here. Unlike the next guy, Chris Godwin, he finished at 30 last year. He's one of the only people on this team that didn't really thrive under that new offense last year. He has been much better than 30th, and he's being ranked at 35 at wide receiver going into this year. He's moving back into the slot, which is where he's had his best years. So maybe he's just a slot guy. I don't know. But he's got, if he's great again, he's a couple years removed from a big knee injury. He's back into the slot. There's upside, but I'm not super excited by him at 35.
Yeah, definitely. Could definitely have upside. Yeah, who cares? And then Jalen McMillan.
Third round rookie. I don't know a ton about him. He's just coming in to fill out that room. He's listed here just to say it's those two guys and a third round rookie. Yeah. And so, obviously there's other players, but just not people that we're really focusing on for fantasy.
Yeah, absolutely. Tight end position, Kate Otten. Is that anybody to look at?
He's a streamer, maybe like 14th, 15th, 16th ranked guy. So if you're in a much deeper league, yeah, he could be usable, but not someone that I'm going to be picking up in most standard size leagues.
I feel you. So big three takeaways here is your value in Baker.
A little bit of value on Baker, a lot of value on the coach that's leaving. I find myself talking about Dave Canales a lot, doing a lot of good things in Seattle, then Tampa Bay, moved up to a head coach pretty quickly. So I don't know how this team is going to react to a new coordinator.
Yeah. Mike Evans still good. Not
Mike
value
Evans
there.
Still good. Not that I
Chris
see.
Godwin could be good.
Could be.
But we're not sure.